Whether it's Jack Doherty texting, speeding, and streaming while driving and ending up crashing on the highway.
No!
Alex Choi shooting fireworks from a helicopter onto his Lamborghini.
It's a stunt organized by a popular YouTuber who's now in big trouble.
Or intentionally crashing an airplane for views. These are all times when YouTubers committed crimes, and some actually got away with it, starting off with Jack Doherty, internet's most hated personality. On October the 6th, 2024, Jack Doherty took his $300,000 custom-wrapped McLaren for a drive on a wet rainy day, with his cameraman streaming the whole trip on Kick. The road trip started off normally, but then Jack began scrolling on his phone, reading his chat, while still behind the wheels of a supercar. Now driving this fast in a supercar on a wet surface is risky and dangerous on its own, but doing it while also having your eyes on your phone is just reckless and stupid. But Jack Doherty surely learned his lesson.
Oh! No! Help!
Holy shit. Holy fucking shit.
Oh! Help!
What was crazy about this whole situation is not the fact that Jack was acting recklessly from the beginning, but it's what happened after. Soon after the crash, Jack seemed to care more about his destroyed car than the well-being of his own cameraman, as he was seen disregarding his cameraman's situation and even asking him to film while being visibly and badly injured.
Michael, here. Michael, do you have film on that phone too? Oh.
Surprisingly, Jack wasn't convicted on criminal actions. Instead, he just paid the normal texting and driving fine. In the eyes of the Florida law, because no bystander was injured, the incident remained a traffic violation rather than a criminal case. Soon after the accident went viral on Saturday, Doherty's account disappeared from Kick, and a spokesperson for the streaming service said that Kick does not condone illegal activity, which is why we swiftly took action to ban this creator from the platform. Our next creator, however, did not just pay a fine and a citation. Instead, he's facing a possible 35-year jail sentence for 3 counts of interference in business, 2 counts of minor crime act, and 2 counts of sexual violence crimes. Ramzi Ismail, or also known as Johnny Somali, is no stranger to controversy and legal battles, given his highly provocative behavior while streaming overseas and the over-the-top nature of his content. Johnny is known online to be one of the worst people of all time, constantly disrespecting people, getting himself into public altercations, and causing chaos in public. After being previously banned from Japan and Israel for the same erratic and disruptive behavior, the streamer decided to pay a visit to South Korea in 2024, but this would end up being the last thing he would be doing for a while.
What is that, bro? Bro, relax, guys, yo. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. We do again.
Johnny Somali arrived in South Korea around September to October 2024. Wasting no time, he began staging offensive pranks in Seoul for his live streams. On October the 9th, 2024, he uploaded a video of himself kissing and dancing against the Statue of Peace. Days later, he provocatively praised Imperial Japan, waving a Japanese rising sun flag, further enraging Koreans. His wild stunts continued for days in South Korea. He would blare loud music, including North Korean anthems and tsunami sirens, vandalizing a Seoul convenience store, drinking alcohol, and putting instant ramen on a table, as well as insulting an elderly clerk who told him not to drink inside. Johnny was out of control, doing whatever he wanted in public, harassing people, and offending anyone he sees. But his last move was one that took it way too far. On October the 30th, he live-streamed a doctored video involving a popular Korean streamer known as Bong Bong IRL. In an apparent attempt at a joke or provocation, he displayed AI-generated images and deepfake videos depicting Bong Bong and himself kissing, falsely claiming she was his girlfriend. Suddenly, Johnny became a target. His out-of-control behavior led to an online outrage in Korea, and YouTubers started following him and looking for him just to assault and attack him live on stream. Some online forums even discussed bounties, which were rewards for anyone who landed a hit on Johnny during his streams. By early 2025, he was facing multiple indictments that could see him in prison for decades. His case is far too long and detailed to dive deep into in this video, but in short, he was accused of multiple counts of criminal offenses, including obstruction of business, minor crime offenses, which includes all his public mayhem, public acts, and harassment, as well as illegal activities, and child sexual crime offenses involving his text-to-speech donations in public, as well as sexual crime offenses involving the AI video of him kissing the streamer. Adding up all his crimes, he is looking at over 35 years in jail, bringing a well-deserved end and punishment to someone that the online world was wishing he would pay the price of his actions. Now, another well-known prankster that is facing jail time in a foreign country after committing crimes is none other than Vitaly.
No, I have a question for you. Yes? No? What are you gonna do?
Much like Johnny, Vitaly is known for his over-the-top pranks and public actions. He's no stranger to public mayhem without repercussions. But this time, Vitaly is face to face with the consequences of his actions after being arrested in the Philippines for filming himself harassing Filipino citizens for content and facing serious jail time. In March of 2025, Vitaly went to the Philippines to conduct his usual live streams on Kick. During his trip, Vitaly was roaming popular areas and pulling disruptive pranks on bystanders. He did literally everything, from harassing random people walking in public to stealing a fan from a restaurant and harassing actual police officers, stealing their hats and running away or hopping on their personal vehicles. At one point, he aggressively approached an older woman and told her,
I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No? Okay. No. Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal fuck.
One person even confronted Vitaly live on stream, telling him that what he's doing is wrong and he should be helping people and respecting the country rather than messing and pranking them.
I'm not talking shit.
So why
I'm asking you, why even make that content? Genuinely.
Because
like I'm speaking up for a large majority of people.
Shut the fuck up, because I do whatever the fuck I want. What are you gonna follow me?
I'm not gonna follow you.
Yo, I swear to God, bro.
A real conversation.
I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to have a conversation with you, bro.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell your viewers that you guys are better than this. You don't have to watch people fucking with others and putting them down. You need to lift people up for a living. I'm calling you out for being a piece of shit.
Okay, I am a piece of shit. Congratulations.
You come here and you fuck with locals.
Okay, what are you gonna do about it?
I'm not gonna do nothing.
So stop following me.
The universe is gonna do it.
And in fact, the universe actually did it. Philippine authorities moved quickly, and on April 2nd, 2025, Vitaly was arrested by BI agents and police in front of a hotel in Pasay City. Initially, Vitaly's arrest was treated as an immigration matter. The plan was to deport him for violating the conditions of his stay. However, Philippine officials soon decided that deportation would be the easy way out for Vitaly's offenses. In a press briefing on April 7th, the government had blocked Vitaly's immediate deportation so he could be charged and tried under Philippine law. We will not deport him. He will be held accountable under the law here in the Philippines. Finally, on June 18, 2025, after over 2 months behind bars, a Philippine court granted Vitaly bail. However, immigration authorities immediately rearrested him upon his release from jail because a separate deportation case was still active against him. As of today, Vitaly remains in custody in the Philippines, navigating both his court trial and eventual deportation, and if charged, could face up to 24 years in prison. I guess actions sometimes do have consequences, with emphasis on sometimes, because for our next creator, he did not just get away with it, but he is also currently an active member in the European Parliament. Phidias has been involved in way less controversies than some of the YouTubers on this list, but the few that he's gotten himself into got quite the backlash online. Whether it was his video where he spent 100 hours in the poorest country in the world, or his controversial quest to hug Elon Musk, they both didn't get this big of a reaction until he posted a video titled Traveling Across Japan for free. The premise of the video is Phidias and a bunch of YouTubers are gonna attempt to go across Japan without paying any single transportation fee, which in Japan's law, the refusal to pay public transportation fees is considered a form of theft and is punishable by law, which could lead to big fines and even jail time. Right from the start, Phidias was confronted by the police after he took money from a stranger to pay his transportation fee but was 80 yen short of the amount he owed and tried to talk to the driver in order to waive it off.
No.
Police.
No.
Cámara, police station. ATM.
I don't know what she's saying. I think I got in trouble, guys.
After being let go from the police, Phidias didn't get the hint that what he was doing was illegal and continued his journey. He documented him breaking the law, going into a train and hiding in the bathroom to avoid paying the fee.
And now it's time to teach you how to get the train for free.
The police actually caught him in the toilet and demanded that he would pay the fine, but Phidias ran away before they catch him. This should have been the sign for Phidias that this is probably not the best video idea to do in a country like Japan, where they are very strict when it comes to enforcing the law, especially on tourists. The whole video was just showing Phidias and his friends committing crimes for the sake of the challenge and exploiting the locals, as well as using tricks to get around paying the transportation fee, which got Phidias major heat after upload. YouTube eventually removed the video along with 5 others uploaded by Phidias from its platform, deeming it violates community guidelines after the backlash he got online. Phidias did not face any actual crime offenses. He however became a European Parliament member and rebranded his online personality according to his new position, leaving the viral challenge style content behind. But one man that pioneers the viral challenge style content is none other than Mr. Beast, who committed an actual crime in one of his viral short videos that went largely unnoticed.
If I give you $100, would you go to Paris to get me a baguette? No. If I gave you $300, would you fly to Paris and bring me back a baguette? Yeah, right now.
Actually?
Yeah.
Flight included?
Yes.
On the surface, this looks like a viral, harmless piece of content, but if you dig deep into the law, you can find the exact time Mr. Beast broke it, specifically when the challenger went to Paris and filmed in front of the Eiffel Tower. Under copyright law and the freedom of panorama, anyone is free to film any building that is clearly visible to the public, like the pyramids of Giza for example. But in the Eiffel Tower's case, that's not the law. In order to legally take pictures, you have to wait until the copyright protection ends, which is usually 70 years after the original owner dies. For the Eiffel Tower, this happened in 1993, but the tricky part comes from the lights on the actual tower. You see, the nighttime illumination of the Eiffel Tower is considered a separate artistic work with its own copyright, and that is still protected under copyright law since it was installed in 1985. As a tourist, you're free to take as many photos as you can for personal use, but in Mr. Beast's case, by taking this exact shot and using it for content on his social platforms, making monetary gains, he's essentially breaking the law and the copyright. Fines and legal pursuit, however, only occur if the company that manages the tower actually decides to enforce it and hold Mr. Beast accountable, and that could see Jimmy face up to 300,000 euros in fines and up to 3 years in prison. But of course, this is highly unlikely. Since this is a copyright law, it could also be easily resolved by taking down the video if they wanted. But what happened with Marcus Brownlee isn't just a simple copyright breach, it's a violation that could damage his entire reputation. In 2024, the biggest tech reviewer in the world, MKBHD, posted a video titled "How My Video Gear is Changing." But in the video, Marquez was seen filming from inside of his Lamborghini driving on the street. His editors tried to blur the meter to hide his speed, but the other meters on the dashboard gave away the fact that he was driving at 96 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone, and even worse, it was a school zone. Immediately after posting, the clip went viral on social media, and many of his fans called him out for his reckless driving and how irresponsible he was. Marquez immediately issued an apology and removed the clip from the original video. Last video, I did something pretty stupid. There was a clip with the action cam of me test driving a car and going way too fast. Absolutely inexcusable and dangerous. I've since cut it out of the video with YouTube's editor tool. There's no reason to leave that clip in, and I would never want to make it seem okay by leaving it in the video. All I can do is apologize and promise never to do anything close to that stupid again. That's a terrible example to set, and I'm sorry for it. A lawyer online known as Legal Eagle confirmed in a breakdown video that MKBHD could face potential prison time for his reckless driving, considering he was going well over the speeding limit by a lot.
For a first reckless driving offense in New Jersey, penalties can include up to 60 days in jail, a fine up to $200, and a penalty on your driver's license. If it's not your first offense, jail time can extend up to 3 months, with fines up to $500.
It is still unclear whether official action was taken by New Jersey authorities, but for now, Marquez and his fans moved on. But this next YouTuber, however, was sentenced to 6 months in jail and 2 years of probation after the crime he committed. On November 24, 2021, Trevor Jacob uploaded a video where he took off solo in a vintage 1940 light aircraft, but what seemed like a normal flight was a carefully prepared stunt. The YouTuber had no intention of reaching his destination. He had outfitted the plane with multiple cameras and was wearing a bulky sport parachute, planning from the start to eject mid-flight, crashing his plane in the process, all for online attention and virality.
Get out of here, mother.
What looked like a crash was immediately noticed by the online community as well as many experts, doubting how everything was perfectly placed to capture this weird sudden crash. The fact that cameras were perfectly set up, selfie stick ready, and parachute on his back drew massive attention, and people started speculating whether this was truly an accident or just a staged act. Jacob claims he experienced a sudden engine failure mid-flight and had, and I quote, no safe place to land, leaving him no choice but to jump for his life.
Why then did you decide to upload the video and share said mistake with the world?
I was just grateful to be alive, and then I saw that the footage didn't get destroyed. I may as well put this online, which was another terrible mistake.
Investigators noted the same anomalies that the online community had pointed out. He made zero attempt to restart the engine or call for help, and he immediately bailed out with a camera in hand. In short, evidence strongly suggested the engine outage was staged and the pilot abandoned a functional aircraft mid-flight purely to film the crash. After further investigation as well as criminal prosecution, Jacob pled guilty and revealed to the court that he indeed did not intend to reach his destination. Jacob was sentenced with 6 months in federal prison, followed by 2 years of supervised release, and was given his pilot license back. But crashing an airplane was nothing compared to shooting literal fireworks at a Lamborghini from a helicopter. This clip looks straight from a Hollywood movie scene, but in fact, it's a stunt done by YouTuber Alex Choi that got him into big trouble. Alex is no stranger to dangerous stunts and crazy activities. It's the premise behind his old content, combining luxury and high-end vehicles with over-the-top stunts and cinematic style filming. and for the most part, he got away with it. But this time, it was different. Choi posted a video titled Destroying a Lamborghini with Fireworks, which was basically, as the title states, shooting fireworks at a Lamborghini from a helicopter. Soon after posting, the video got a lot of attention online, but it also got the attention of the federal authorities. In early June, the FAA and Department of Transportation had already begun investigating the video, and on June 4th, an official criminal complaint was filed. After further investigations, it was revealed that Alex did not have any of the permits required to film such a stunt. The entire production violated aviation, land use, and explosive regulations. He was charged with one felony count of causing the placement of an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft, and the pilot that was in the helicopter got his license revoked. And until today, he has not been convicted of any crimes yet. Alex Choi pled not guilty and was released on a $50,000 bond and remains free, awaiting further court proceedings. But if found guilty, he's looking to face up to 10 years of prison time. Now, prison time is something many people wish some of these influencers get for the crimes they commit, but unfortunately, that's not the case for many of them, and especially for our next set of YouTubers that will all be included in one section. Logan Paul, Jake Paul, KSI, and Haley Welch were all at one point the main target for hate online for their crimes. The crime in question, pumping and dumping crypto projects to make money, then moving on scratch-free. Each one of these YouTubers were exposed for their scamming projects. Haley Welch for the infamous Hawk coin, which was rug pulled instantly upon launch. And surprisingly, Haley was not included in the SEC investigation about the whole scam. And when they officially closed their investigation, there were no charges, no fines, and no restrictions. Haley walked away legally clean. Same thing goes for KSI and Jake Paul, which were both involved in many pump and dump tactics over the years. But only Jake Paul was actually fined by the SEC for an amount of $500,000 for his involvement in SafeMoon. And then we have Logan Paul. From CryptoZoo to Ding Doing, he's been involved in many projects as well that ultimately went nowhere. The biggest being his own CryptoZoo project that saw many investors lose millions of dollars on a game that never released. But of course, no legal action was taken. In the end, we learned that when you commit a crime, it's best not to film it in 4K and post it on YouTube for the world to see. Because sometimes you will pay the price of your actions. But then again, most of the times, at least if you're big enough, you will just walk away free. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time, and don't forget to subscribe.